Okay, so the question is, how do you make the shift from how we've been conditioned to eat growing up and even through adolescence and our adulthood? How do you make the shift from these big meals that in our mind, our food memory is in front of us, we have a plate, and there's a big hunk of meatloaf, and then you've got green beans that have probably got something pork related going on, maybe some bacon or ham in there. Then you've got this big yeast roll that is slathered in butter, and then you may have, if you're lucky, you may have a little side salad that's got some iceberg lettuce and a couple pieces of carrots thrown in there, and it's going to be smothered in some ranch or some Thousand Island dressing. And you're going to want to be sure to clean that plate, because if you don't clean your plate, you're not going to get your big piece of pie a la mode when you're done. So how do we make that transition from that being the normal meal to going to a much less complicated, much more nutritious raw food meal, like a green smoothie? I mean, you know, when we transition into raw, we think a green smoothie, that's not going to satisfy me. I mean, that's just like drinking something. It's not going to fill me up. Well, when I went raw, I was totally psyched to go raw, and I jumped in with both feet overnight. I went 100% raw, and so I didn't sit and think about, oh, well, how am I going to get over this, you know, attachment that I have to food? I just wanted it so badly because I'd been sick for so long with, you know, heartburn, irritable bowel syndrome, yada yada, all these different problems. So I just wanted to feel better. So literally what happened is the food made the shift for me. I found that by drinking a heavily based green juice or making a green smoothie that was just loaded with all my favorite fruits and handfuls of leafy greens like kale, spinach, Swiss chard, you know, maybe I would throw in some goji berries or chia seeds, maca powder. There's so many different things I've put in, like green powders and spirulina. I was amazed. Within a week, after doing salads, blended soups, really not even going that gourmet because I didn't know what I was doing at first, it was like the shift was made for me. I realized no longer was I sitting there with my pants unbuttoned, the big swollen Buddha belly, rubbing it after a dinner. I literally was like ready to get up, go walk around the block. I had all this energy because my body is not over there suffering, trying to figure out how to digest those 10 different complex food groups that I just put into my system. I mean, our digestive tract is really sophisticated, but I mean, it's not geared and designed to digest what we as Americans and in this culture plug into our system. So I think the shift comes when you just jump in with both feet and do the diet. And you don't even have to think like, okay, I'm going to be a raw foodist now and I'm never ever going to eat anything cooked again. I mean, you can psych yourself out and freak yourself out, you know, and you'll wind up in the drive-thru at Taco Bell because you freaked yourself out. No, just like go, I'm going to do, see what it's like to do a raw food diet that's going to be real high in leafy greens, like maybe 1 pound to 2 pounds a day, which that's going to be like one bunch of romaine, a bundle of spinach, and maybe another bunch of kale. So you've got these 3 things going. If you're making smoothies and you're juicing and you're having a salad or a blended soup with greens as a base, you're going to get that many pounds of greens into your diet. And when you put that just like super, super nutrient dense stuff in your mouth and your body is easily able to assimilate it because it's not been cooked, it's alive, your body is suddenly going to begin to get nutrition that it hasn't had in many years. And you'll find that not only, like within a short period of time, you're not hungry. I mean, I had to force myself to eat those first few weeks of going raw because my body was in so much shock that it was getting so nourished that I wasn't even hungry. And so I think that's where the shift comes, not by trying to talk yourself into thinking about it differently. Just do the diet. Let the food change you, because it will change you. And if you fall off of the wagon and you go back to eating cooked foods, I mean, those green smoothies and the green juices and the salads, they're always there, and they're always waiting for you to come back. So I just want to encourage you and stay on track. Make it a green, juicy day, and eat your veggies.